Breaking news is Jason Momoa has indeed confirmed that he was injured on the set of Aquaman 2. And crazy enough, the video actually talking about this topic went from live on YouTube where everyone could see it to unlisted within a few hours. That seems interesting, right? Now, people have been questioning all of this quite a bit too, because last week you had this come out saying that Aquaman 2 had been shut down for 5 days because Jason Momoa did indeed have an eye injury, but the eye injury, well, it was caused by a certain nameless person. See, a lot of people are asking, why exactly did this question come up right now if this is indeed damage control attempt by Warner, and if this thing right here happened, would anybody actually tell you the truth? Regardless of how it happened, though, people are asking why this happened and, well, why it keeps happening with Warner. You've had Ruby Rose come out yesterday talking about terrible conditions with Batwoman, and now Jason Momoa is telling you he not only has eye injuries, he has other injuries sustained from Aquaman 2. Yeah, you and I, we're going to talk about that today. Fun times, huh? Fun times indeed. Warner. So hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. And from what I'm hearing from sources, there is a lot of panic going on behind the scenes when it comes to Warner and Aquaman 2. Why? Because nothing seems to be going right at all. That's what makes this Jason Momoa eye injury discussion so interesting, because the same networks that would talk about Jason Momoa ordering coffee wouldn't talk about the eye injury for weeks. Then you have Entertainment Tonight come out with this article. Jason Momoa talks to Ellen about getting injured filming Aquaman 2. I just kinda give it. And within an hour, one freaking hour of this going live, you have no video showing up at all. That's because this video here, it was unlisted almost from go. What that means is you have to have a link to it in order to find it. And before you say, but that umbrella guy, this is a sneak peek. Maybe they did that intentionally. Again, they left it up for around an hour. I mean, that's all that you got with it before it went down. That's suspect and beyond.
You're filming Aquaman, and I heard you hurt yourself. What happened to you?
I'm getting old. That's what's happening. I got a little, I messed up my eyes and just got something in it that kind of cut it up, and then I got to get surgery, I got a hernia, I got ribs out. I'm just getting beat up.
Man.
But it's gonna be a great movie. You're gonna love it.
But wait a minute, when you say you scratched your cornea, is that right? Like can you see?
Yeah. Look at me. I'm I can see. Great.
All right.
Good to go. But
That's a rough job you got there.
Yeah, having a rough job. That seems to be the understatement of the century. Now, that interview, it led to some very fascinating questions like, why now? Why exactly do you have this being brought up at all? And why aren't people covering this? I mean, period. You didn't have coverage before when this rumor came up. And as far as the Ellen interview is concerned, well, a quick search of Jason Momoa and Jason Momoa's eye will return these 3 hits. That's it as far as it's concerned. AceShowbiz.com. Never heard of them, don't know anything about them. But again, you're not talking about a big hitter here. Yahoo News, that's typically copies of someone else's coverage, so I don't know if that even counts. In Fox News, you have none of those salacious gossip rags that come out and cover absolutely anything picking this up. Yeah, don't you find that suspect? Now, as far as that why now question is concerned, a lot of people, they're returning to this. And they're saying maybe, just maybe, this is a form of damage control. I mean, after all, you had no one tied to Warner Brothers coming out and saying anything. You had no celebrities coming out saying anything about it, despite them being in the movie. And what's more, you had no coverage of this whatsoever, even from places that typically they will cover any type of salacious rumor. If you haven't seen this, by the way, this is a submission form. I redacted the 2 pieces here. They actually had names. And the platform that this came from, by the way, it was a very, very large one. These are the type of submission forms that you see for places like the Hollywood Reporter. And the subject that you see, what they want covered, is filming on Aquaman 2 suspended. Now, the message here is that filming on Aquaman 2 is suspended for up to 5 days as the Health and Safety Board in the UK are investigating after a stunt injury damaged Jason Momoa's eye. Safety tips were removed from a prop that certain nameless person was using, and she hit him with it. Now again, that is a rumor. I'm not saying that it's true in any way, shape, or form, but there are a lot of weird things going on with this. You know, you have that rumor come up, you have it trend pretty much everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, that thing catches on fire. Nobody comes out and talks about it whatsoever. And then a week later, you have this question dropped on Ellen, and right after this thing, it starts to get a little bit of notice. Bam! It gets unlisted, and nobody talks about it at all. Now, crazy enough, Jason Momoa isn't the only one with an injury story to tell. Ruby Rose trended yesterday, calling out the terrible conditions behind the scenes when it comes to Warner Brothers and Batwoman, and that has people asking why. Why exactly wouldn't Warner Brothers safeguard their talent, making sure there are no injuries? I mean, you have Ruby Rose coming out with pictures saying, on top of all of the things that I've mentioned, she mentions private investigators stalking her, basically intimidation tactics by Warner's staff, but she says, I also have enough documentation to make a 1-hour documentary. Pray tell, what else would you like me to bring up? Do you want me to bring up the broken neck? Would you like me to bring up the broken ribs? And again, eye injuries, hernias, broken ribs, broken necks. How exactly does this stuff happen? Now, as far as the Momoa situation is concerned, what's fascinating to me is that there were a lot of people out there saying that Warner Brothers, they don't address these types of situations. I mean, look at their track record. Well, you know what? They actually addressed Ruby Rose in that situation, saying it's revisionist history. It's aimed at knocking out the producers, the cast and the crew, the network and the studio. Quote, the truth is that Warner Brothers Television has decided not to exercise its option to engage Ruby for season 2 of Batwoman based on multiple complaints about her workplace behavior that were extensively reviewed and handled privately out of respect for all concerned. So, they sounded off on that. Again, they want to do damage control for it, but as far as that nameless person is concerned, you don't matter. Jason Momoa's eye injury, well, you can try to figure that out yourself. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Gets the old noggin jogging. But anyway, let me know what you think about all of this stuff. And as always, I appreciate the heck out of you. You make this stuff work, so thank you. I cannot say that enough. We have links in the description too. All of those, they help out the channel in different ways. Check them out if you want to help out. But you being here, that helps most of all. Share this video, subscribe, you know that drill, and thank you. I appreciate the heck out of you. And until next time, we will see you soon.